The Platform is a brutal social commentary wrapped in a psychological thriller. This film explores the cause and effect of social hierarchy and self-preservation through its protagonist, Goreng. He voluntarily enters the administration in pursuit of a college degree, only to realize he has been placed in a horrifying, unregulated social experiment. His cellmate, Trimagasi, ended up in the pit for an opposite reason. He was convicted of manslaughter after killing someone in a fit of rage over an advertisement scam. Goreng and Trimagasi are polar opposites, even reflected in the items they bring. The administration allows each prisoner to bring one item of their choice. Goreng chooses a book, symbolizing knowledge and idealism, while Trimagasi brings a samurai plus knife, representing survival and violence. The pit is a vertical prison that extends over 200 levels, acting as a metaphor for social hierarchy. Trimagasi lays down his own set of rules. Don't talk to those below, and the ones above won't listen. The pair are initially lucky, waking up in one of the upper levels. The first 50 floors represent the wealthy elite, who gorge themselves on an extravagant buffet prepared by master chefs at level 0. The middle floors, 51 through 200, symbolize the working and middle class, people struggling for leftovers, some trying to organize resources while others succumb to desperation. Below level 200, prisoners face starvation, forced into cannibalism to survive. The film's message is clear. Resources exist, but the system is designed to ensure inequality. Even within these tiers, there is more division. Goreng and Trimagasi begin their journey on level 48, a precarious middle ground. They aren't starving, but they also aren't comfortable. It's a level where survival is manageable, but true security is absent. Trimagasi accepts the system, doing what is necessary to get by, while Goreng, still holding on to his ideals, subtly rebels by refusing to eat. Now, the administration runs the pit, a vague name for a company, but its purpose is unclear. There's no indication whether prisoners are ever released or if the pit is a life sentence. Some believe it to be a social experiment, but the truth remains hidden. The administration represents institutional apathy. It creates the system but refuses to manage it, acting as though the platform is a test of character, despite the fact that its rules encourage selfishness. The film hints at key rules. There are 333 floors with 2 people per floor, totaling 666 prisoners, a number reinforcing the film's religious and hellish themes. Each day, the platform descends from level 0, carrying a gourmet feast. Those at the top eat first, and by the time it reaches the lower levels, nothing remains, mirroring the failure of trickle-down economics. The platform returns to level 0 each day, as if nothing happened, reinforcing that the system is indifferent to those inside. Hoarding food results in extreme temperature changes, either burning or freezing prisoners alive, forcing immediate consumption. Prisoners are randomly reassigned floors every 30 days, keeping them desperate and preventing cooperation. Violence is not banned in the pit. However, killing a cellmate for room is pointless, because a new prisoner will take their place. Yet killing for food is common for the lower levels. As Trimagasi explains, eating human flesh is only necessary when close to death. Many resist until they have no other choice. Goreng and Trimagasi's uneasy alliance shatters when they wake up on level 177. Trimagasi immediately ties up Goreng in his sleep, planning to slice off small portions of his flesh to prolong both their survival. But before he can, Miharu, a mysterious woman, intervenes, brutally assisting in killing Trimagasi and saving Goreng. Miharu is one of the most mysterious figures in the film. She descends the platform each month, supposedly searching for her daughter, whom she believes is trapped in the pit. This paints her as a tragic mother figure, adding an emotional depth to the brutal world. However, the administration worker claims that there are no children allowed in the pit. This raises the question, if her child is real, the administration is lying, and Miharu's struggle represents hope in a hopeless system. If her child is a delusion, Miharu symbolizes how trauma drives people to cling to false hope. Miharu doesn't follow the system's rules. She rides the platform, ignoring the food hierarchy, killing threats but sparing those she deems harmless, such as Goreng. Her existence challenges the idea that survival depends solely on playing by the system's rules. She represents pure instinct, acting without ideology while others debate morality. After Trimagasi's death, Goreng is forced into survival mode, feeding on Trimagasi's corpse. He begins hallucinating Trimagasi's ghost, who taunts him about his descent into savagery. This scene is heavily influenced by religious and existential philosophy. Trimagasi, now a spectral presence, tempts Goreng towards cannibalism, mirroring Satan tempting Christ in the desert. In Buddhist thought, these hallucinations could symbolize Goreng's internal struggle between his ego and enlightenment. His vision suggests that he is not just surviving, he is transforming. Goreng later wakes up on level 33 with a new cellmate, Imogiri, a former administrator who voluntarily entered the pit believing she could change the system. She attempts to enforce rationing, urging those below to eat only their fair share. However, the prisoners ignore her until Goreng enforces compliance by threatening to shit in their food. This moment marks a turning point. Goreng, once an idealist, now mirrors Trimagasi, even using his signature phrase.
Obviously.
Meanwhile, Imogari discovers the system's true nature. The administration had lied to her. There was never any plan for fairness or reform. In despair, she takes her own life, offering her body as food for Goreng. Unlike Trimagasi, who acted out of desperation, Imogari's sacrifice is deliberate, reinforcing the idea that true change requires self-sacrifice over selfishness. After a month of survival, Goreng's final cellmate, Baharat, believes he can escape by climbing upward with a rope. His attempt fails when a woman defecates on him, symbolizing the cruelty of the system. Realizing that escape is impossible, Goreng convinces Baharat that change must come from within. They must descend the platform and enforce food rationing. The two men ride the platform down, using violence to maintain order. This moment highlights a brutal truth, that systematic change is often resisted, and sometimes requires force. The film suggests that inequality isn't due to lack of resources, but rather the way resources are distributed, and human nature's innate selfishness. Deep in the pit, an elderly wise man advises them that sending a message to the administration would be more effective than rationing. They decide to send up a perfectly preserved panna cotta, a symbol that change is possible. But upon reaching level 333, they discover something unexpected: a child. The panna cotta was originally meant to act as a message, which was proof that a change in human behavior was possible. The child at the end of the movie represents true innocence, untouched by corruption, and is ultimately sent up instead. They sent her up to the top because if the child reaches the top, she symbolizes a potential future change and proof that the system is more broken than the administration knows. If the system rejects her, it proves that the entire structure is hopelessly corrupt. The message is that true change doesn't come from material symbols. It comes from real human transformation. The ending of the platform is intentionally ambiguous, but Goreng most likely dies. Trimagasi comes back as a ghost, telling him that the message needs no bearer, indicating that Goreng no longer plays a role in this story. He accepts and steps off the platform, symbolizing his departure from the physical world, going from a naive idealist to a self-sacrificing figure. His arc suggests that true change requires sacrifice. The platform mirrors real-world wealth disparity, where the rich live in excess while the poor fights for scraps. It questions human nature. Are we capable of sharing resources, or are we doomed to selfishness? The ending provides us with a choice, leaving us to decide. Will history repeat itself, or will the system change?